Hi and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be using the Trish McAvoy makeup planner that I picked up during the Nordstrom anniversary sale for 2025. So if you're curious to see how I created this full face of Trish McAvoy and hear my thoughts on this year's planner, keep watching. I thought I would start today's video by unboxing and showing you everything that you get in this year's Trish McAvoy planner that you can pick up during the anniversary sale. There are two shades. I picked up the light medium, however, there is also a medium deep. So you do get the actual planner case, and this year it is this brown croc leather. I do have previous planners. This was last year's, which was a green. So they are different and the contents inside are different. I will kind of talk about that as we go through today's video. So as I mentioned during my haul video, when you open it up, you have this little case here, and this just pops right out. And then you also have your snap-in palettes. So I'm going to start by opening this case. You have the Instant Eye Lift, which is kind of like a concealer. It's going to brighten your under eyes. You have a lip liner in shade Natural, a liquid blush in shade Brighten. Now this is a different shade than my other planners. So in all of my other planners, I have gotten a liquid blush, but they've all been the same color. So this year we do have a different color, which I am excited about. Two lip glosses. This is in shade Almost Nothing, and this is in shade Gorgeous. And I do believe that these lip glosses are different shades that I got in last year's planner as well. There is a lipstick, and this is in shade Almost Nothing as well. So the lipstick and the lip gloss match. And then you have a little sample of a perfume. This is their Blackberry and Vanilla Musk. I believe this is the same perfume that we got last year, and I really liked it. So that's everything that comes in this little pouch, and you do not have to keep what's in the pouch. You can change it up, put your own products in. These planners are just great for traveling. Then over here on the side, you do have these little elastic bands so that you can put brushes. So I'm going to take out the little palette, and in here you have the Light and Lift bronzer, Light and Lift highlight, Light and Lift blush, and the translucent finishing powder. So everything you need for your face is all in one in this cute little palette, and like I said, it just snaps right in. And you can take the palettes from other planners and snap it in as well. So then once we get over to this side, I will take everything out. Starting with the Intense Gel Eyeliner in shade Black, the Fuller Brows Pencil in shade Brunette. You do get a little powder puff. You have the Eye Brightening Pencil in Shell, which I do believe I have received in other planners, and I really like this eye brightener. You have the Eye Base Essentials in shade Bare. And this also is an item that comes in every single planner. You have the Lash Curling Tubular Mascara in Black. And then for your eyes, you have 3 of their eye crayons. This is the 24-Hour Eyeshadow and Liner. We have Smoky Quartz, White Peach, and Dove. So that is everything that comes in the planner. Really the only thing that's missing is a primer and a foundation. And I can understand why there is no foundation. Foundation, there are so many different shades, you can't possibly put a universal foundation in here, but there's definitely enough room in this planner for you to just throw in whatever foundation is your favorite. Now in years past, there has been a primer. I do have a Trish McAvoy primer, so I will be using that today to create a full face using all of these new products. Now I did want to show you last year's planner in case you picked up the planner last year and you're wondering, do I need this year's? Mine is a little bit messy, and I'm not honestly certain if everything that is in here is what came in the planner, because I do use these and I kind of interchange and swap things out. But I will show you the palette that came in last year's. So in last year's, you've got the Cream Bronzer, Dual Resort, which is a bronzer and highlight, and then you also have the translucent finishing powder. So it is similar to this year's, but it is slightly different in that you've got this cream bronzer up here and no blush. But I do see that the lip gloss that was in last year's is called Innocent, so it is a different shade. And then here is an eyeshadow palette. Again, I'm not certain if this came in last year's or if this was in a different planner, because I have 4 of these planners and I do use them, and I do mix up the products that I'm using to just put everything in one. But I do see that the lip liner from last year was in the shade Barely There. This year's is a different shade. Also, the eyeliner in last year's was different. So here is the liquid blush that has come in the previous planners. So you can see that this one is a lot lighter. Now I will link up in the cards my previous videos where I'm unboxing the different Trish McAvoy planners that I've used and kind of comparing them, because if you are interested in seeing what has been in years past, those videos, they will give you more information than this one, because I do have 3 previous Trish McAvoy planners and I do just kind of mix the items together, so I don't know what came in which planner. So I will link those other videos in the cards for you in case you are interested. And as I was looking through these planners, I realized that my primer is not in the planners, so I'm going to just be using the Guerlain primer because I am going to be using my Guerlain foundation. So my Trish McAvoy primer is with all of my other primers, which I am not filming in my beauty room right now, so it is downstairs and I am upstairs. But if you are interested, I did use the Trish McAvoy primer in other videos. It is a really nice primer. It's more of a lotion, and I do think it's very hydrating, very moisturizing, and it does make my skin look beautiful underneath my foundation. So for foundation, I'm going to be going in with the Guerlain Terracotta Latant Glow. This is still a foundation that I have been reaching for on a daily basis. I think it is just beautiful. And I am using shade 2N. So this planner cost $275. It has a retail value of, I believe, $653. So it is on the pricier side. It is one of the more pricey items that Nordstrom sells in their beauty department. However, you are getting a full face of makeup. And Trish McAvoy is a great brand. The brand has been around forever, and the products are really, really nice. So for everything you are getting, I do think that it is a really great deal, especially if you have not purchased any of these planners in the past. Now, I purchased them for several reasons, but one of the main reasons that I purchase these planners every year is to review for you. So I do get repeat items. So for me, I may not actually use all of the items in there because I still have some from the years past. But if you have never picked up this planner, then this is a great, great deal. Now I'm going to go in with the Instant Eye Lift as my concealer. Now this isn't necessarily a concealer. It really is just going to brighten and lift my under eye. Trish McAvoy does sell an actual concealer, but it's similar to the foundation. It comes in a wider shade range. So I'm just using a little bit of this Instant Eye Lift to brighten and lift my under eyes. Because there was no cream contour or bronzer in this palette or in this planner, I'm going to go into one of the palettes from previous planner where there is a cream bronzer and a cream blush. So I'm going to take this cream blush. This is the Trish McAvoy Gorgeous Bronzer, and I'm just going to use that today as a cream bronzer. Now you can design your own planner. On the Trish McAvoy website, she does sell empty planners and empty like compartments where you can customize and create everything on your own. And if you were to do that, it is going to be fairly expensive, which is why the value of this planner is $653. That price is if you were to take every single one of these items piecemeal and create your own planner. That's how much it would cost. So it's definitely cheaper to buy a planner that has already been curated. However, if you don't like the options and you want to create your own, you can definitely go on her website and do that. That is something that she makes, and all of her products are refillable to go into these cases. I do like just how customizable everything is. All right, so now I'm going to go into this year's palette and I'm going to take the translucent finishing powder, and because it's so small, it is a little bit hard to get the product out. Maybe I should use a smaller brush or that puff that they include. it does work. It just takes a little bit longer to get the product out. I'm going to go ahead and take the Eye Base Essentials, and this is in shade Bare. Now this is an eye primer. Now this does also come in a few different shades. The one that's always included in the palette though is Bare. I have actually tried other shades, and Bare is still my favorite. You can see it does a great job of covering that redness on my eyelids and giving me that blank canvas to work with. So now I'm going to go in with this bronzer. This is the Light and Lift bronzer. There are other bronzers that I have, and this is not one of them. So this is a new shade for me. I think it's pretty, and I do like that there is a mirror on these palettes so that you can see what you are doing. All right, now I'm going to use this new cream blush. This is the Liquid Face Color, and it's in shade Bright. So you do get like this little brush applicator. I don't use that. I'm just going to place it on the back of my hand like I would normally and use my brush. But to get the product out, you just turn until the product starts to come out, which does take just a few twists. But that is the blush. And because it is so bright, I'm going in pretty lightly. That's going to be really pretty. Look how gorgeous that is. So I did blend this out quite a bit because it was so bright. But look how beautiful that looks. I really like this shade. I thought that the blush that came in the other palettes was pretty, but it was pretty light. This one is beautiful. I love this shade. I'm going to take these 3 eyeshadow crayons, and I'm going to swatch all 3, show you what they look like and what we're going to be using today to create this look. So this is Smoky Quartz, this is Dove, and White Peach. So I am really excited to use these. I'm going to start with Smoky Quartz and kind of take that into the crease. I'm going to use a brush to blend. You could use your finger. I just prefer a brush. And if you are using a brush, you should use a undyed or synthetic. So I am just using an undyed brush. This is a rougher number 14. And that blended out really, really nicely. So I just took a little bit into the crease, and then I'm just blending. This Smoky Quartz shade is really, really pretty. And if I'm not mistaken, I think in some of my other planners, I did have some of these eye crayons or eye pencils. So if you do have some of these other planners, you might have different shades of these eye pencils, and you could use those to create a look too. So now I'm going to go in with the shade Dove, and I'm just going to take that on the lower half of my eye. And I'm just going to use that same brush. But I'm not really blending that. I'm pretty much using the actual applicator to place it where I want. I'm going to take that White Peach and use that in the corner and under the brow bone. And I'm going to take a rougher number 2 to blend that. This shade's really pretty. That White Peach shade is really pretty. I think these would be perfect to mix with a little bit of a powder shadow as well. Cream shadows are so easy to work with though. They go on effortlessly, They're pretty much foolproof and they last all day. They definitely last longer than powder shadows, but they do set down quickly, so you kind of have to work fast. I'm going to go back in with that Quartz shade to kind of build up the outer corner. I'm just going to take that same brush. This is the rougher number 2. That is very pretty. It's very light, very kind of a neutral everyday look, but it's really, really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes with the black liner that came with the planner, and I'm going to be using the mascara that came with the planner as well. The eyeliners from Trish McAvoy are absolutely some of the best. They are so easy to apply. They literally glide on your eyelid. They are so nice. Here's the finished eye look after eyeliner and mascara. I just think that it is beautiful. I really do. I think that this planner has everything you need. It is perfect for traveling. It's perfect for on the go. I really, really am impressed so far. But now I'm going to go in with the powder blush and the highlighter. I think that this blush looks really, really pretty. It's very soft, but it definitely has some luminosity to it. So it's not going to be a matte blush. That is beautiful. That is so pretty. Now I will go in with the highlighter. And I just realized I never swatched this palette, so I will go back and swatch it for you guys. That is gorgeous. I really, really like it. So I'm going to start with the bronzer. Here's the highlighter. The blush, which is pretty light, but I think on top of that liquid blush, it's perfect. And then last is this translucent powder. I forgot to use the brightening pencil. I love this brightening pencil. This is hands down the best brightening pencil I have ever used, and I have tried several. It's very thick, so it makes, and I do need a mirror, but it makes applying this so easy. You just take it on your lower lash line. I love this. This is honestly the best brightening pencil ever. And now for the lips, this again is in shade Natural. So that's what that looks like. And I will swatch the lip glosses as well as the lipstick. I'll start with the shade Gorgeous. And this is the lip gloss in shade Almost Nothing. It's a beautiful kind of peach or coral. And then the lipstick in shade Almost Nothing. So I do think that the lipstick is beautiful. I don't think that it matches the lip liner though, if I'm being honest. Now some of the other lip glosses that I have are shade Babe. I feel like this would be a better match for that lip liner. Yeah, 100%. This definitely a better match. In other planners, I've also gotten another bright lip gloss. This is in shade Barbie. That's very similar to Gorgeous. I think that they're the same. So this is called Barbie, but it's shade number 6. This is called Gorgeous, and it's shade number 6. So I think they might be the same, just called different names. I have another lip gloss in shade Innocent. I also think that would be a better match for the lip liner than the shade that they included. But because it was included, and you may not have these other shades, I am going to use what was included in this year's planner. So I'll take the lipstick in shade Almost Nothing. I think that it's a better match on the lips than it was swatched. So now I'll go in with the lip gloss in shade Almost Nothing. Yeah, I do think that that is pretty. It definitely looks better on the lips than it did swatched. And last but not least is the perfume, and this again is number 9, Blackberry and Vanilla Musk. I really, really like it. It almost reminds me of the brand new Chanel that kind of got that berry scent. This says it is inspired by the pursuit to start every day with joy. Discover number 9 blackberry and vanilla musk in an irresistibly warm and spicy sweet scent. I really like it. The notes are juicy blackberry buds, dark plum, touch of mandarin, white rose. That completes today's look using a full face of Trish McAvoy from the Trish McAvoy makeup planner that you can pick up during the Nordstrom anniversary sale. I am really, really impressed with this year's planner. I love the palette with the blush and the highlighter and the bronzer. I think that it is beautiful. I think that the eye crayons are absolutely gorgeous. I'm loving this eye look, and just overall, I think that the products are 100% worth it. I am really, really happy with this planner. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think of a all-in-one planner with everything that you need? Let me know. I would also love to hear if you guys picked this up and what your thoughts are and how you've been loving it. Let me know down below. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video.